Look at this.
Oh, that's tight.
Whoa! Still undefeated!
Wow.
Ilia Topuria submits
Oh my
Bryce
goodness.
Mitchell.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
He beat him up.
He beat him up and he submitted him.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. Big hammer fist by Topuria.
There it is.
Big shot.
Oh, big
he
hammer shot by
Ryan,
Topuria.
He might be. He's out. He's
Ilia
out.
Topuria
Huge.
does not win.
Born on January the 27th, 1997 in Hau, Westfalen, Germany to Georgian parents Zaza Topuria and Inga Bandiliani Topuria, Ilia's father was a big fan of mixed martial arts and was a former wrestler, so he encouraged Topuria to get involved in combat sports from a very young age, starting with judo at just 4 years old. At the age of 7, Topuria would move to Georgia with his family, where he got his first glimpse of combat sports, as he started practicing Greco-Roman wrestling at school with his brother Alex. Due to a bad living situation in Georgia, his family once again immigrated, this time to Alicante, Spain, when Topuria was 15 years old. Not knowing how to speak Spanish before he went to Spain presented a challenge for him, but he would learn the language fairly well within 6 months. After moving to Spain, he began practicing martial arts at the Clermont Club gym, where he began to grow as a fighter and as a person, showing his unwavering grit and determination to perfect his craft. It was during this period where he started taking fighting seriously, beginning training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and MMA as a whole. He displayed a natural inclination towards mixed martial arts. As he began training in various disciplines, he honed his skills to develop a strong foundation. It was at this time where Topuria would also drop out of school with the blessing of his father to train MMA full time, and he would compete in a variety of jiu-jitsu and wrestling competitions around Europe. According to Ilia, he went with his brother to talk to his father, stating, "Hey dad, we don't want to go to school anymore, but we really want to train. And we want to go all day, every day to the gym and train because my dream was to fight in the UFC. His father said, "If you're really going to train all the time like you tell me, you have my approval." He doesn't know what gave him the drive and audacity to think he could make it to the UFC, but he stated that he would tell himself when he woke up every morning, "Ilia, you have 2 options, to keep sleeping and to hold on to your dreams, or to wake up and make it come true." After dropping out of school to pursue MMA full time, he would work 4 jobs so that he could pay for all of his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu competitions that he was entering in, because they weren't free. Working at a clothes store, teaching grappling classes in another gym, working on the beach, and working in security on the weekends. Finally, a few months after his 18th birthday, Topuria would go on to make his professional MMA debut on April the 4th, 2015, on the same night as his brother at West Coast Warriors, fighting at featherweight. He would face Francisco Martinez and come out victorious, winning the fight 3 minutes and 30 seconds into the first round, where he submitted his opponent via triangle choke. In an interview with Ariel Helwani on the MMA Hour, he stated how he never saw any other option than to fight in the UFC, and fighting is what he's meant to do above all else. And this first fight showed a glimpse of that. The victory on his debut over a fighter with experience showed that Topuria was a serious prospect, and he meant business, with his perseverance as well as his commitment to his craft becoming more and more evident. But this was just a glimpse of what was to come for Ilia. He would continue his winning streak, beating his next 2 opponents, and in his 4th fight, he would challenge for the vacant MFE Featherweight Championship, winning by guillotine choke in the 2nd round, beating John Guerin on November the 5th, 2016. In his next fight, he would go on to make his bantamweight debut, dropping down weight classes to face Mika Hämäläinen at Cage 43 on April the 28th, 2018. He would win this fight via guillotine choke in the 1st round and go on to challenge for the vacant Cage Warriors Championship on June the 16th, 2018, where he won the fight via Anaconda choke in the 1st round. However, due to missing weight, he was ineligible to win the title. In 2018, at 21 years old, Topuria would also become the first Georgian black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu alongside his brother Alex. After missing weight at bantamweight, Topuria would make his return to the featherweight division against Luis Gomez at Brave CF 26 on September the 7th, 2019, winning the fight by triangle straight armbar in the first round. He would fight in Brave CF 29 against Steven Goncalves on November the 15th, 2019, where he would win by knockout in the first round. Impressive performance after impressive performance, Topuria was clearly demonstrating that he was a class above any of his opponents. He comprised an undefeated record of 8 wins and 0 losses, fighting for European promotions, and these impressive performances managed to catch the eyes of the biggest MMA fighting promotion in the world. On October the 10th, 2020, he got called to the UFC and he made his UFC debut against Youssef Zalal in the first fight of his career that got taken to decision. However, he would win convincingly via unanimous decision, showcasing his skill set on the largest stage of mixed martial arts. The results of his next 2 fights were no different from every single other one of his previous fights. Facing Damon Jackson and Ryan Hall, he would be victorious in both of these fights, winning both via knockout in the first round, quickly displaying how he can make quick work of any of the opponents that were placed in his way. Although the UFC was a step up in competition, Topuria was making all of his opponents look like easy work. However, slight adversity would come when the next 2 of his fights against Movsar Evloev and Charles Jourdain were cancelled. The first one because Evloev pulled out of the fight 3 weeks prior, and the second because of weight cut issues regarding Topuria. Cancelled bouts were not ideal, as they would slow down the fast projection of Topuria's career, as he stated in an interview with Ariel Helwani that he wanted to challenge for UFC Gold in 2023. The next fight he would have scheduled would be on the 19th of March 2022 against Jai Herbert at lightweight. This fight was a testament to Topuria's unresounding character, as he would get knocked down in the first round. Managing to recover, he overcame the adversity and knocked Herbert out in the second round. This fight not only demonstrated his composure under pressure, but it also showed how Topuria was willing to dig deep in order to get the victory, showing his true warrior spirit. Finally, in 2021, Topuria became the first Spaniard in history to enter the top 15 of the UFC after his last win against Herbert. He would return to featherweight to fight Bryce Mitchell on the 10th of December 2022, where he would win by arm triangle choke in the second round. This victory would allow Ilia to jump into the top 10 of the featherweight division after his impressive performance, which brings us to his most recent fight against Josh Emmett. The fight would take place on the 24th of June 2023. This fight would be Topuria's biggest challenge yet, and although the fight went the distance, Topuria would win convincingly, as the judges scored the bout 50-44, 50-42, and 49-45, showing how he could dominate one of the top contenders in the division with ease, would finally grant Topuria a shot at the featherweight title. Topuria's fighting style is smooth, his timing is impeccable, and he never loses focus. Growing up as a grappler benefited him greatly, but it is primarily his striking that has elevated him to the next level. His shoulder movement and footwork are excellent. A strong jab and powerful right hand are his calling cards, and he changes levels with his striking very effectively. He uses his kicks well to keep the hands of his opponent high in their guard and at home, opening up his punches. He can be slightly reckless while on the offensive sometimes, but has been bailed out of tough situations by his wrestling. As Topuria continues to work to become UFC champion, still remaining undefeated, his dedication to his craft and his willingness to surpass his limits has allowed him to rise through the ranks of MMA to establish himself as one of the best fighters on the UFC roster. And he continues to show that if you believe in yourself, you can make what you believe in your reality. With each passing victory, Topuria climbed the ranks of the UFC, solidifying his status as one of the most promising prospects in the sport. His dynamic fighting style and unwavering determination earned him legions of fans and propelled him to new heights of success. Known for his brash and arrogant personality, he has been known to trash talk virtually any fighter, and specifically had his crosshairs on UFC lightweight Paddy Pimblett, as seen during their minor scrap in 2021 prior to UFC London, and he continues to bring this fire to every single opponent that he has matched up against. But with a UFC title opportunity right around the corner, is Topuria looking past Alexander the Great Volkanovski, or is he giving us an early showcase of a reality that's right around the corner? No one knows how this fight will play out, but two things are for certain. Volkanovski is not a fighter to look past, and Topuria is willing to do whatever it takes to see UFC gold.